I asked AI to build an app for me. And what happened next completely shocked me. I didn't just learn about AI. I learned something really important about myself. I've always wanted to build my own app, but let's be honest, coding is hard, and time is always short. Life gets in the way, you know? You have this great idea, this vision, but the mountain of learning you have to climb just to get started feels impossible. I'd start tutorials, get a little bit in, and then get overwhelmed. So I thought, what if AI could do it for me? What if I could just tell it what I wanted, and it would spit out a fully functional app? Could it really build something usable, something real, in just a few hours? I was skeptical, but also incredibly hopeful. Maybe this was the shortcut I'd been looking for. I sat down, opened up my laptop, and decided to put this theory to the test. Was AI about to make my dream a reality, or was this whole thing just hype? My app idea seemed simple enough on the surface. I wanted to create a tool to help people track their daily habits. You know, something to log when you exercise, drink water, or read a book. Simple, right? But as anyone who's ever tried to build software knows, simple-looking apps are rarely easy to make. There are so many hidden complexities: user accounts, data storage, notifications, a clean user interface. The list goes on and on. I spent some time sketching out my vision, defining the features, and mapping out how a user would navigate through it. I wanted something useful, something that people could actually use every single day. And then, with my plan in hand, I turned to the AI. I typed out my instructions, describing the app in as much detail as I could. And then, I held my breath and hit enter. The cursor blinked, and the process began. Watching the AI write lines of code was surreal. It felt like something out of a science fiction movie. In just a few minutes, it had generated entire functions, designed screen layouts, and even set up the database structures. Things that would have taken me days, if not weeks, to figure out were appearing on my screen in seconds. It was mind-blowing. The sheer speed was astonishing. But then, as I started to examine the code more closely, I realized it wasn't perfect, not even close. There were errors popping up, bugs hiding in the logic, and some parts were just as strange. The AI had built the skeleton of an app, but it was a Frankenstein's monster. It had the right parts, but they weren't all connected correctly. My initial amazement quickly started to mix with a dose of reality. At first, I was just amazed. I mean, the AI wrote a working app structure faster than I could ever hope to. The feeling was pure excitement. I thought, this is it, this is the future. But that high didn't last long. Frustration hit me like a ton of bricks when I tried to actually run the app. Things just didn't work as expected. Buttons wouldn't respond when I clicked them, screens would glitch and show the wrong information, and the whole thing felt clunky and broken. I spent hours just trying to get the most basic features to function. And that's when I realized a crucial lesson: even the most advanced AI can't just magically create a polished, working product from a simple prompt. It can't replace the deep understanding, the nuance, and the problem-solving skills that come from learning the craft yourself. So, I had to change my approach. I couldn't just be a director. I had to become a collaborator. I started a back and forth with the AI. I would find a bug, describe it to the AI, and ask for a solution. Sometimes its suggestion worked perfectly. Other times, it would introduce a new problem. It felt like I was mentoring a brilliant but very confused apprentice. It had all the knowledge in the world, but no real-world experience. I had to guide it, correct its mistakes, and teach it my specific intentions, and that's when it hit me. The real value of this whole experiment wasn't getting a free app, it was the process itself. The struggle, the debugging, the collaboration. That was where the magic was happening. It was forcing me to learn, to understand the code on a much deeper level than I ever had before. And then, after hours of this back and forth, this dance of human and machine, it worked. The app finally came to life on my phone. The buttons responded, the screens loaded properly. I could add a new habit, track it, and the data was saved correctly in the database. I just sat there, staring at the screen, and I couldn't believe it. My idea, brought to life. Hours of work that would have taken me months were compressed into a single, intense session. But here's the shocking part, the thing that really blew my mind. It wasn't that the AI built an app. It was what the process taught me about myself and about learning. The first big lesson I learned is that AI is a tool, not a replacement. A phenomenally powerful one, but still just a tool. It can build you a house of code, but you need to be the architect. You need to have the vision, the creativity, and the fundamental understanding of what you're trying to create. The AI can't think for you. It can't have your unique perspective or understand the subtle needs of your users. It can accelerate your work, help you overcome technical hurdles, and act as an incredible assistant. But the human mind, your mind, still has to guide the entire process. It's like having a superpowered hammer. It's useless if you don't know where to hit the nail. The second, and maybe even more important lesson, was that real learning happens through struggle. The AI gave me a massive head start, sure. But the real growth, the moments where I truly understood how my app worked, came from the struggle. It happened when I was deep in the trenches, hunting down a frustrating bug, trying to figure out why something wasn't working. It was in those moments of iteration and adjustment that I learned more about software development than the AI could ever teach me directly. Progress, real, lasting progress, comes from persistence. It comes from facing a problem and refusing to give up until you solve it. There are no shortcuts to that kind of growth. The struggle is where you find your strength. Looking back on this entire experience, it showed me something profound about technology and humanity. Technology can amplify our efforts in incredible ways. It can make us faster, more efficient, and more capable than ever before. But it can't replace the core human elements, learning, creativity, and resilience. The AI is amazing, there's no doubt about it. But the real magic, the spark of creation, that still lives inside you. It's in your ideas, your passion, and your willingness to push through challenges. The machine is a powerful partner, but you are the artist. You are the builder, don't ever forget that. So, if you're out there thinking that AI is going to come along and do everything for you, think again. It's not here to make you obsolete, it's here to make you more powerful. Use it wisely, learn from it, and yes, even struggle with it. Because the real shock isn't the app that the AI built for me. The real shock is what you discover about your own potential, your own resilience, and your own creativity along the way. So keep building, keep learning, and keep surprising yourself. Thanks for watching.